Yo, Elliot, I'm Muslim and in a few days it's Ramadan. What can I do to make sure that I'm burning fat during these days of Ramadan so that afterwards I can look a bit more muscular? Yo, Elliot! So for those of you who aren't clear as to what exactly happens during Ramadan with regard to your diet, you're not going to be eating or drinking from sunup to sundown for about a month. This is the antithesis to building a beautiful body. But you must understand why you do it, because it will be the key to being the strongest version of yourself. I'm familiar with fasting for periods of time, dry fasting. I did it this year for the Baha'i fast. If you look at my videos from May, you would see this is what I was doing. And although there are a few things that you can do while you are eating in order to facilitate good health, because that's what you really should be thinking about, consider this an opportunity to clean the slate, brand new canvas. Die to your old self, your old ambitions, your old hope, fears, and dreams and desires and grasping and needingness. That's what this spiritual fast is all about, and I'm talking to you specifically as a Muslim. Yes, building muscle and burning fat is great, but it is of the world. The reason why we fast is so that we can be anti-world, like I use that word, antithesis to building muscle, because building muscle has everything to do with the physicality of the world, and we fast so that we can drop physicality completely. We're so attached to the material world that our masters gave us fasting so that we can forget it for a little while. And in that forgetting, we allow our egos to dissolve. Our egos are what holds all of our hopes, fears, desires, dreams, and shit. You gotta let that go during this time. Fasting and prayer. Get the most out of your Ramadan. Not worrying and anxious about your muscle and fat. That defeats the purpose. Don't fast if that's what you're thinking about while you're fasting. Don't do it. If you're fasting and you're thinking about physicality, even though it's a spiritual act, that means you're doing it for the wrong reasons and you should just stop. You're fasting so that you can forget the muscle. You can forget the world. But it is a grand opportunity, my friend, one that we all benefit from. And that's why fasting has become so mainstream and popular, because we're waking up to the things the masters have told us for many, many, many generations. In this world, we have become batteries in the matrix. Like if you've seen the movie, only difference is they don't plug us in, they get us plugged in by making us consistently consume. We live in a consumer culture. You're either consuming ideas, you're consuming entertainment. That's really what I mean by ideas. Consuming entertainment, consuming food. And the only way that the matrix is going to continue to siphon your energy off of you, the world, the material world is going to continue to siphon energy off of you, is if you can produce money for them. And when you stop eating, you're the biggest, you're doing the biggest rebellious thing that you can possibly do to a structural entity within the society that is on its way out. They don't want you to fast. That's why they've been teaching us that we need to eat so fucking much. And that fasting has been thrown out the window with mysticism and prayer. Who does that shit? There's no proof there. That's because there's no money there. Proof only goes to where they have money to get proof. Right? If I prove something that's going to make me rich, I'm going to prove the fuck out of it. There's no proof. And you don't need it. I was watching a video about, or I was watching a documentary about fasting, and how in the Soviet Union, many, many, many years ago, they were investing all this into fasting because they wanted to heal the people and they didn't want to spend so much on healthcare. And they were really making some tremendous breakthroughs with fasting. But when the regime fell and capitalism took over, there's no money in it. I'm going to invest money in a system that gets people in a thing, in a way of being that gets people out of the medical care system, right? You start fasting, you start getting healthy. You're saying fuck you to the world of medical malpractice and medicine and all that shit that they do in order to make us sick mentally and physically. It's a flawed fucking system. That's why Muhammad, PBH, says fast. Jesus says fast. Buddha says fast. All these teachers tell us, distance yourself from the world. You keep eating processed shit, you're putting money in the system. In Babylon, I love the way the Rastas call it. Pocket. Like the Rasta. Babylon offer, Rasta refuse it. Rasta refuse to eat. That's the most rebellious thing you can do, my man, so you get to own yourself once again as a faster. Take pride, ownership. You want to be the strongest version of yourself. You want to look great because our body is a reflection of our soul, I'll tell you that. Then you take back your sovereignty by making deliberate, conscious choices about what you don't put in your body during these days, right? Maybe use the fast to think about what you're not going to eat. Maybe even keep a journal of what you would have eaten but you're not eating. Take a look at how much integrity you build. Sovereignty, meaning self-ownership, you develop. Even in religions, the gifts that the masters gave us turn rancor, rotten, because we do it for the wrong reasons and we forget why they gave us these gifts. My man. So use Ramadan as an opportunity to die to the world, die to your muscular system, die to all the things that you've been told you need to be, have, do, and eat. So that at the end of it, you are a baby again. You know who grows the fastest? Babies, because they're brand fucking new. Let Ramadan cause you to die. Be born again at the end of it. And start with a clean colon. Done.